Hi guys, today I'm going to be looking at the Mexican roster for the upcoming 2019 Gold Cup. I'm going to be breaking down this roster, looking at what leagues are represented by the players on this roster, and basically what the level of league that these players come from, so we can gather what the level of play of the Mexican national team is going to be at this Gold Cup. So to start off, I've divided into North America and Europe. And as we see, 16 of the 23 players on this Mexican team roster play their club football in North America, and 7 of them play in Europe. This is actually quite interesting because this is the exact same distribution that there was for the American team, which I did in my last video, although of course for this time the North America side is mostly going to be Liga MX as opposed to MLS for the United States. So looking at the North American side of things, 15 of the 16 North American based players on the Mexican national team for this Gold Cup play in Liga MX in Mexico, which means that basically 2/3 of this team play their club soccer domestically in Mexico. There is one player who plays in Major League Soccer, that is Jonathan Dos Santos, who plays for the LA Galaxy. Now, interestingly, of the 15 Liga MX players, most of them play for top clubs in Mexico. 4 of them play for Monterrey, who won the Mexican League last year. Other clubs that are represented by more than one player on this roster are Tigres, Club America, Cruz Azul, and Leon. So all very good Mexican League teams, teams that challenge for the title every year, teams that are regularly in the CONCACAF Champions League, are represented by the players in Liga MX. So while there is a high percentage of Liga MX players on this team, it's the upper echelon of Liga MX that is represented. So what you're looking at right here is a team that is very based in the elites of North American soccer, the teams that win the Champions League year after year after year, the teams that basically trade CONCACAF Champions Leagues amongst themselves. Also interesting to note is position-wise, the distribution of players who play domestically versus abroad is pretty much even in all positions. 2 out of 3 goalies on this team play in Liga MX, 6 of the 9 defenders, 5 of the 8 midfielders play in Liga MX, and 6 of the 8 play in North America, with Jonathan Dos Santos obviously in MLS, and 2 of the 3 strikers play in Liga MX. So unlike other teams that I've done this for in North America, the United States, Canada, where sometimes it seemed like one position would be disproportionately skewed towards Europe or disproportionately skewed towards North America, it seems like an even distribution where in each position about 2/3 of the players play in Liga MX. Moving on to the European side of things, the 7 players on this team that play in Europe play their league soccer in 4 separate nations. 1 player plays in Belgium. That is the goalkeeper Ochoa, who plays for Standard Liège in the Belgian top division. 4 players play in Spain, which I'll get back to later as there is a bit of a more in-depth look at that. 1 player plays in the Netherlands for PSV, and that is Eric Guiterra. And 1 player plays in England, and that is striker Raul Jimenez, who plays for the Wolverhampton Wanderers. So going back to the 4 players who play in Spain, all 4 players play in La Liga, which is the top level of soccer in Spain. Those are defenders Nestor Araujo, who plays for Celta, Diego Reyes, who plays for Leganés, Hector Marino, who plays for Real Sociedad, and midfielder and captain Andrés Guardado, who plays for Betis. Now, looking at this Mexican team, this is a different Mexican team than what usually goes to the Gold Cup. Usually, the Mexicans send a team that's pretty much entirely Liga MX, entirely younger players to the Gold Cup. Because let's face it, the Gold Cup isn't really a very prestigious tournament. So they were able to send an entire Liga MX squad, an entire younger squad of not their best players, and just walk through pretty easily because compared to the rest of CONCACAF, the Mexicans are just ridiculously good. And in addition, they were also able to do that because of the rule that you could switch players after the group stage and put new players into the squad going into the medal round. So they were able to send, especially for the group stage, almost entirely younger players from Liga MX, and then if they thought that they weren't good enough to win or challenge for the title, they could send a couple of their players who play in big European leagues for the knockout stage. This year, with the Gold Cup expanding, with it actually looking like a real international tournament, it seems that the Mexicans have stepped up and they're sending what is actually their best squad. The fact that Moreno and Ochoa and Raul Jimenez are here is incredibly surprising because they're sending their best possible team. I think the Mexicans, especially with the way that the United States have been playing in the pre-tournament games, are 100% the favorites to win this. I know in my prediction video a couple weeks ago I said the Mexicans were going on the semis, but really what I think is that one of the US or Mexico are going to burn out early because those two ending up in the final together would be too good, and we can't have that for a CONCACAF tournament. But with the way the US has been playing recently, I'm thinking now that they are the ones who are going to burn out. I'm starting to think that with this team, this is probably the best team that's been sent to a Gold Cup by any nation in a long, long time. So the Mexicans should probably be able to just walk right through this tournament. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you like this video, leave a like. If you want to see more of my stuff, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.